Okay, so welcome friends. Hello, my name is Jason Gorenstein and this is our Vinyasa Flow All Levels practice. Today being Thursday, June the 25th, 2020, just a minute or two past 9 a.m. So I hope you're having a lovely morning today, and we have a nice Vinyasa Flow All Levels practice planned for us all today. So without further ado, we're going to begin in our child's pose here. And just begin to allow that breath to become long and slow. So I'll be joining you on the mat as well for the practice. Okay. So once again, we're going to begin in child's pose. And in child's pose, just let that breath be long and slow here. Spread across the fingers. Press down through the thumbs. Press down through the forefingers. Let the hips release towards the heels. Let the forehead release down towards the mat. So see that all fingers are spread wide apart here. Press down through the thumb, press down through the forefinger, and allow the inner arms to lift up as you wrap the outer arms in. As you continue to breathe here, just continue to lengthen through those sit bones all the way back towards the heels. Allowing that breath to move in and out through the nostrils. So keep spreading across the fingers here. Press down through the thumbs, press down through the forefingers. And just continue to be with that breath. Allow that breath to be long and slow here, lifting across the inner arms, wrapping across the outer trap here, and lengthening across the back of the body. So feel the breath traveling down now in towards the spinal muscles. Breath long and slow, your body relaxing here as you continue to breathe. And eventually we'll find our way up into a tabletop pose. So tabletop pose, great opportunity for us. Just begin to inhale, peel up the chest and the heart. And as you exhale, rounding through the spine. Good. Inhale, peeling up through the chest and the heart. Spread across those fingers. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Just release the head on down. And one more time, inhale, peeling across the fingers. Wrap the outer armpits in. As you exhale, tuck the toes underneath. Float the thigh bones back. Downward facing dog pose. So see that the feet walk back slightly. Feel the fingers pressing down. And release the head between the arms. As you spread across the fingers here, continue to release that head all the way down towards the mat. And allow the inner knees to lift on up. Allow the thigh bones to press on back as you breathe here. Good. And then as you feel ready, inhale, shift forward into plank, top of a push-up. Just spread across the fingers. See that the weight travels from the fingers to the fingertips. Allow the fingers to be spread wide apart. Allow the breath to be long and slow here. Good. And as you exhale, float those thighs back. Find your way back into downward facing dog pose. And once again, shift forward into plank, top of a push-up here. So continue to breathe. Press those heels back. Hug the belly in and press the tops of the palms down. Good. As you exhale, lower those knees down to the mat. Now bend the elbows, lower down halfway, pause here. Press down through the palms to straighten up those arms. And as you exhale, press on back, find your way into downward facing dog pose. Spread across the fingers, wrap the outer armpits in, and continue to release the head all the way down to the mat. So again, shift forward into plank, top of a push-up. You'll lower the knees down to the mat. You'll bend the elbows halfway, and this time you'll release the chest all the way down to the mat. Walk the hands back so that the thumbs are right against the sides of the ribs. Draw the elbows towards one another. See that the shoulders move down the spine, and continue to lengthen the sternum towards the crown of the head. As you exhale, tuck those toes underneath. Press down through the fingers. Float the thigh bones back. Downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose. Float the right leg up and bend that right knee. You're going to begin to move the right hip in circles here a few times. Massage the right outer hip. Good. And eventually extending that right leg back behind you. Now draw the right knee into the chest, shoulders over wrists, and step the right foot in between the hands. As you inhale, float the arms up, Anjalayasana pose. So as you take Anjalayasana pose, continue to breathe here. Press down through the right big toe mound of the foot. Draw the right outer hip back. Interlace the fingers here. As you interlace the fingers, re-extend the arms up towards the ceiling. Palms face one another. Good. And then as you exhale, you're going to take your hands behind the back now. So interlace the fingers, draw the elbows back towards one another, and begin to inhale, peel the chest up. Just like we did when we were in Cobra pose. Elbows draw in, shoulder blades draw down the spine. Now begin to lean forward. Maybe lift the arms up and straighten those arms any amount back behind you. Keep hugging that right outer hip in. Keep breathing here as you lengthen the chest forward. Good. Inhale, peeling up that chest and heart. Float the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, plant the hands down to the mat. Tuck the left toes underneath. Float the right leg back. Find your way back into downward facing dog pose. So once again here, spreading across the fingers, lifting the inner forearms up, firming the outer triceps in, and breathing here. Inhale, float the left leg up. As you bend that knee, open up that left hip, and breathe here. See that that right hip draws in. See that that left knee is bent. And just begin to move that left knee in circles a few times. Open up and massage that hip. Good. And then as you feel ready, straightening out that leg, stepping your left foot in between the hands, releasing the right knee down. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. And breathe here. So we're going to take the hands back into the center chest. Interlace the fingers the opposite way this time. Press your palms forward in front of you. Take your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. So press down through the right shin. Press that right thigh back. Press down through the left ball of the foot. Draw the right hip in. Good, and breathe here. Continue to lengthen through the chest, the heart, the sternum. And then as you exhale, you're going to take the hands and bring them behind the back. Interlace the fingers here, draw the palms back behind you, see that the elbows are facing one another. Once again, re-interlace the fingers so that the fingers take the same interlace you just took. And then inhale, peel up the chest and the heart. See that the tailbone begins to release down the spine. Now lean the chest on forward, good. And as you feel ready, maybe float the arms on up. So the left outer knee hugs in. The chest lengthens down towards the mat, and you breathe as you extend through those side ribs. As you inhale here, float the arms up towards the ceiling, Anjalayasana pose. As you exhale, place the hands down on the mat. Press the right foot down, float the left leg back, downward facing dog pose. So spread across the fingers here, lift the inner forearms up, wrap the outer armpits in. Good. Now as you exhale, you're going to lower your knees down to the mat one more time. And then lower the chest all the way down to the mat. So now take your hands and walk your hands back along the sides of the body. See that the palms face the ceiling here. Keep the chest lifted. And just begin to press down through the tops of the feet. See that the buttocks is lengthening towards the heels. Belly is drawing in. And continue to lengthen the sternum all the way towards the crown of the head. So zip in from the pubis all the way to the navel. Allow the belly to lift on up. Allow the outer arms to wrap on in. And spin the outer arms so that the palms face one another. And keep lengthening through the chest, the heart, the sternum. As you exhale, take the hands down to the mat. Press down through the feet. Inhale, float the thighs up. Downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose here. Good. And downward facing dog pose, begin to walk the feet forward towards the hands. As you inhale, lengthen through the chest. And as you exhale, hinge and fold here. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling for Anjalayasana's pose. And as you exhale, glide the arms back down to the sides. So we're going to take a few rounds of Sun Series, Series A here. So whenever you're ready, joining me with your breath. Inhale, float the arms up and above your head. As you exhale, hinge and fold here. Inhale, lengthening through the chest, the heart, the sternum. So taking the hands down to the mat, walking the feet back, coming into plank pose. Spreading across the fingers here. So you take plank pose, you have the option, you can lower the knees down to the mat. If you feel ready, you can bend the elbows down halfway, pause here. Inhale, peel up the chest for upward facing dog pose. And as you exhale, float those thighs on back. Downward facing dog pose. So spread across the fingers here. Lift the inner forearms up, wrap the outer armpits in, and breathe. And then as you feel ready, looking in between the hands, you're going to step your right foot forward. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope. I don't know why I'm already proceeding forward. You're going to look forward. You're going to walk the feet forward towards the hands. And then as you feel ready, inhale, lengthening the chest. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, raising those arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana arms. Maybe bring the fingers together. As you exhale, glide the fingers back down into the sides. So inhale, float our arms up, maybe the fingers touch. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthening through the chest, the heart, the sternum. As you take the hands down to the mat, walk the feet back, come into plank pose. So plank pose here, you can lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe here. Continue to see that those heels lengthen back towards the back of the mat. Continue to release the head all the way down. Feel the inner forearms lifting up. Feel the outer armpits wrapping in. And again, walking the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, hinging and folding. Inhale, raising those arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana arms. And as you exhale, gliding the fingers back down to the sides. So inhale, raise the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthening here. So take those hands down to the mat, walk the feet back, find your way into plank. So plank pose, be here for a moment, press those heels back, hug the belly in, spread across the fingers. One more time as you exhale, lower down halfway, pause. Inhale, peel up the chest, Urdhva. Keep drawing the chest forward, keep drawing the shoulder blades down the spine. As you exhale, floating on back for downward facing dog. So you're going to take the right foot and you're going to place the right foot in between your hands now. As you place the right foot in between the hands, spin the left heel down. Inhale, float the arms up and out, warrior two pose. As you take our first warrior pose, bend deeply into that right knee. Draw that left arm back and breathe here. Now straighten across the right leg. Take the hands to the hips again. Just see that your hips are slightly turning towards that right leg. You're going to glide the arms up towards the ceiling here. You're going to bend both elbows. And you're going to take the right tricep. Hold on one second. You're going to take the left tricep underneath the right. You're going to glide the arms up. Inhale, lift those forearms up and take the forearms away from you. As you bend deeply into that right knee, continue to lift through those elbows. That's it. So see that that left hip is turning in. See that that right knee is bending. Shoulder blades are moving away from you. So shoulder blades are moving towards the outer shoulders. And then as you feel ready, straighten across that leg again. Inhale, float the arms out. As you exhale, bend deeply into that right knee. We're going to take our right forearm and place it over our right thigh crease. You're going to take your left heel. You're going to press your left ball of the foot down. Keep bending into that knee. So now take the left arm up towards the ceiling. Raise that arm on up. Glide those fingers down towards the mat and then spin the arm up and over so that the left palm extends over the top of the head. Keep breathing here as you bend deeply into that right knee. Very nice. And as you continue to breathe here, see that you're pressing down through the left big toe mound of the foot. Drive the left outer thigh back. Feel the right buttocks hugging underneath you. And continue to lengthen through the left side of the chest. Inhale, float that arm up, warrior two pose. Straighten across that right leg. One more time, bend deeply here. Right arm comes up towards the ceiling. Left hand comes down to the left thigh. And then you're going to windmill the hands down to the blocks. Step the right leg back. Shift forward into plank. Lower down halfway. Pause. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. So you're going to step the left foot in between the hands. I'm just going to flip myself on the mat so I can do the same side as you. Left foot steps forward, spin that right heel down. Walk the left toes to the center of the mat. See that your left heel is pressing down all the way to the right arch. Extend the arms out to the sides. So as you feel ready here, straighten across that left leg. Arms come up towards the ceiling. Bend the elbows. Take the right elbow underneath the left. Lift the elbows up. And as you feel ready, pulling the forearms away from you, draw the left knee to a bent position. See that that left knee bends to 90 degrees. Turn the chest to face the side of the room. So even though the knee is bending here, your elbows are lifting up and you're breathing into your back shoulder blades. Good. Now take the arms out to the sides once again and straighten across that left leg. Glide the left knee to a bend one more time. Take the left forearm, place it on the left thigh. Inhale, float the right arm up. Take the right arm, glide it back behind you. Glide it down towards the mat, glide it up and over the head. Extend through those right fingers. Press through the right ball of the foot. And turn your right outer hip down. Keep bending that knee and breathing here. Good. Inhale, float that right arm back up. Raise that arm up, warrior two. Straighten across that leg. And then as you feel ready, reversing the warrior here. Right hand comes to the right thigh, left arm up. Windmill the hands down to the mat. So as you windmill the hands down to the mat, you step back, you shift forward into plank. You lower down halfway, pause. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, pressing back for downward facing dog pose. All right, so once again, we're gonna step the right foot in between the hands. You're gonna spin the left heel down. Inhale, float the arms up through warrior two. Warrior two pose, straighten across that right leg, hinge at the hip, and find your way into triangle pose. So the left ball of the foot presses down. The right big toe mound presses down. See that the right buttocks is hugging in. Allow both sides of the chest to lengthen up towards the fingers. So maintain this elongation from the left ball of the foot all the way through the left fingers. Allow that right big toe mound to press down. Allow the side ribs to lengthen here as you breathe. And then as you inhale, float that left arm up. Bend deeply into that right knee. Now you're going to take the right hand outside of that right leg. You're going to look down towards the floor for a moment, and then look out to the side. Bend into that left knee, glide that left foot in. Step the right hand forward, and then lift up through that left leg. So as you lift up through that left leg, see that the left outer hip is spinning down. See that the right chest is drawing in and underneath you. Lift the left arm up. Keep breathing here as you spin the chest all the way up towards the ceiling. Spinning the left ball of the foot down. And breathing here as you lengthen all the way through your right side body. Now if you want, you can take your left knee, bend that knee. Maybe grab hold of the foot behind the back of the shin. And then as you take that foot, you may want to just open up the chest here as we move into Shavasana pose. Press down through the right ball of the foot. Inhale, peel up the chest. Lift up through the heart. Lift up through the sternum. Extend that left leg out. Left arm up towards the ceiling. Bend through that right knee. Release the foot on down. So find your way back into triangle pose. Triangle pose, lift up. Bend deeply into that right knee. And reverse the warrior once again. As you exhale here, glide the hands down to the mat. Step your right leg back. Shift forward into plank. Lower down halfway, pause. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale. Pressing up and back for downward facing dog pose. So from downward facing dog pose, we shift into plank again. We spin the weight over onto the right foot and the left foot. So you turn both heels over to the right. Now press down through the fingers. See that the chest continues to lengthen forward. See that the belly continues to hug in here. And then you'll come back to center and you'll glide both feet over to the other side. So once again, you're pressing down through the fingers, driving the chest forward, drawing the hip bones back, hugging in the outer thighs. Breathing here as you lengthen through the chest. And come back to center. Exhale, find your way back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog pose, you'll step the left foot in between the hands. I'm just going to flip the side of the pose. You'll spin the right heel down. And then as you feel ready, inhale, floating the arms up, warrior two pose. So warrior two, straightening across that left leg. See that the chest is lengthening. See that the arms are extending out to the sides. Begin to hinge at that left hip. Place the left hand outside of the left leg. Right arm up towards the ceiling here. Press down through the right ball of the foot. Keep breathing here as you lift up through the right side of the chest. Continue to press through the right pinky toe side mound of the foot. Drive the right thigh back. Feel the right outer hip drawing down as you lift through the top of the right side of the chest. Allow the left shoulder blade to draw down the spine, and you're rooting down through the left foot as you're lifting up through the left thigh. So feel that rooting down action through the hand as you lift up through the right arm. Inhale, float both arms up. Bend deeply into that left knee and glide your left hand outside of your left leg. Bring your right hand to the right hip. Now look down at the mat. Step your right foot in. Step your left foot forward. Inhale. Float that right leg up and out to the side. Spin the right foot down to the mat. Inhale, float the right arm up towards the ceiling. Spin that right heel down and breathe here as you lengthen across the entire right side of the body. And then from here, you'll bend deeply into that right knee. You'll grab hold of the foot, grab hold of the shin, and take the right thigh back to the back of the mat. Spin the chest, spin the heart, spin the sternum here, and breathe. So allow your breath to be long and slow as you open up that chest, that heart, that sternum. And as you feel ready, extending that right leg up, extending that right leg back, bend through that left knee, and then release the right leg on down. One more time, triangle pose. From triangle pose, inhale, float the arms up, bend deeply into that left knee. Reverse the warrior here, and windmill the hands down to the mat. Stepping your left leg back to meet your right leg at the back of the mat. Shifting forward into plank, lowering down halfway, pause. Inhale, peeling up that chest. Exhale, pressing back for downward facing dog pose. Good. So spread across the fingers as we take downward facing dog pose. See that the heels are drawing back to the back of the mat. Feel those inner forearms lifting up. Feel the tops of the thighs pressing on back. The body is stretching in opposite places, so the fingers are drawing down and forward, and the legs are drawing back and out. Nice. One more time, you'll shift forward into plank pose. You'll shift all the weight onto the right foot. And then this time, as you plant down through that right leg, you'll inhale and you'll rebound through that right arm. Maybe stack the feet one on top of the other. See the big toes, mounds touch and lengthen through the side of the chest. You can lift the left arm up towards the ceiling if you like, reaching up through those left fingers. Good. And maybe here, lifting up, bending through that left knee, grabbing hold of the left foot, and taking the left leg up and out to the side. All right. Exhale, lowering that leg on down. Inhale, floating the left arm on up and changing sides. So we just switched the weight over. We start by pressing down through the left foot, and we may just stay here. Some of us will stack the feet. Some of us will raise that top arm up. See that the left arm sits down on the left shoulder. Bend that right knee. Grab hold of the right foot. Press that right heel up and draw the right shoulder blade back into the chest. Lift and breathe here. As you exhale, bend through that knee. Release that foot down. Release the hand down and find your way back into plank pose. Exhale, shifting on back for your downward facing dog. Good. Downward facing dog pose. You're going to step the right foot in between the hands again. You'll spin the left heel down. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Virabhadrasana one pose. Let's straighten across that right leg. Take your hands to your hips. Glide your hands behind your back. See that the elbows begin to hug towards one another. So just like we did at the very beginning when we took lunge pose with fingers interlaced, we're doing the same here. So as you press down through the left ball of the foot, spin the left outer hip in. So you press down through the right big toe mound, bend deeply into that right knee. Draw the hands back down the spine. Inhale, peel up the chest. As you exhale, glide the arms up and over the head. See that you're hugging in that right outer hip. See that you're pressing through the left ball of the foot. Continue to breathe here as you lengthen through the chest, the heart, the sternum. Good. And then as you inhale, find your way back and up. raise those arms up towards the ceiling. Straighten through that right leg again. One more time, bend deeply into that right knee. And take your hands down to the mat. Good. Spin onto the ball of the back foot here. And as you feel ready, step your right leg back to meet your left at the back of the mat. Shift forward into plank. Lower down halfway, pause. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Let's spread across the fingers. Lift the inner forearms up. Wrap the outer armpits in. Good. And then you'll step the left foot in between the hands. Spin the right heel down. Press down through the right ball of the foot. Press down through the left ball of the foot. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, Warrior One. As you take Warrior One, breathe here and lifting through both arms. Straighten across that left leg. Take the hands and place the hands behind your back. You're going to interlace your fingers, except this time interlace them the other way. So wrap your fingers around. Draw your fingers all the way down the back of your right leg. And as you press through the right ball, small toe of the foot, spin the right hip forward. As you press through the left big toe mound of the foot, drive the left hip back. Bend deeply into that knee. And then draw the arms up towards the ceiling. That chest is just hovering off of that left thigh. Spin the right hip down, drive the left hip back, and breathe here. And then inhale, lift the chest on up. Float those arms up towards the ceiling, Warrior One. Straighten across that left leg. One more time, bend deeply through that left knee. Release the hands down to the mat. Glide the left leg back, shift forward into plank. Lowering down halfway, pause. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. A downward facing dog pose, bending your knees. Lightly walking, stepping, or jumping the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening the chest here. Exhale, bending those knees and taking the arms up towards the ceiling, Utkatasana. As you press down through the feet, draw the hands into the center chest and open the palms up and out to the sides. And as you continue to breathe here, spread across the fingers. So see that the fingers are spread wide apart. And then as you inhale here, float the arms up and over the head. Bend those knees deeply. Utkatasana. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway here. Bend those knees. Inhale, lift the arms up. Utkatasana. And then straighten across the legs as you come back to center. Good. Take your hands to your hips. And you're going to take the left knee and you're going to cross it over the right leg. So you can remain here. We're going to do Garandasana arms once again, like we did in Warrior Two. You could stay here. If you want, you can lift that thigh up and wrap it around the back of the leg here. Good. So see that those knees begin to kind of revolve back to center. So take your arms up. Then you'll bend your elbows here. And as you bend your elbows, you'll take your left elbow underneath the right elbow here. Lift the elbows up. Now as you feel ready, begin to hinge at those hips. Lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the sternum. Keep driving those shoulder blades back as you lift through the chest here. Good. And as you inhale, raise those arms on up. One more time, exhale and fold. So we'll be here for a moment. Try to get your balance. Inhale, lifting on up. One last time. Exhale and fold. So a nice little workout here in the shoulders and the chest. Inhale, lifting those arms up, and then unbinding your legs. Open up the palms. Extend your arms out to the sides. So be here for a moment as you take your way into your standing pose. So once again here, arms come up towards the ceiling. Bend those knees. Draw the elbows down, and then you're going to take the right elbow underneath the left. You're going to take the right leg over top the left. You could cross here. If you want, you can double cross the legs. And you can fold here halfway if you'd like. And inhale, lifting up the chest. Okay, you'll fold down here if you like. So this is a nice stretch for the backs of the legs. Inhale, lifting up the chest. If you lose your balance, just drop that foot back down. One more time. Driving down through center. Inhale, lifting up the chest. Lift those arms up, uncross those legs, uncross those arms, and as you exhale, gliding those arms out to the sides. Being here for a moment in Tadasana pose, continuing to be with your breath. Good, as you inhale, float the arms up. As you exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, lengthen. You're going to walk the hands back, and you're going to come down onto your forearm, or rather onto your knees. And you'll interlace your forearms here and come into forearm plank. So extend your left leg back, extend your right leg back. See that your heels are lengthening back. Walk your feet forward. Now you're pressing down to your wrists, pressing down to the forearms, pressing down to the fingers, lengthening the chest on forward. Keep pressing those heels back, keep hugging the belly in. Now walk the feet in, walk the feet in, walk the feet in. And as you feel ready, just release the head on down. So breathing here, keep pressing down. Taking dolphin. And then from dolphin, if you'd like, you could lift one leg up. Maybe even try to kick up just a little bit just to see if you can get some buoyancy here, and then release that leg down. We'll do the same to the other side. Left leg, maybe kicking up, and just seeing if you can kind of get some lift through those legs. And exhale, release on down. You lower the knees down to the mat. Take the hands back to the sides of the body, pressing down through the feet. Inhale, floating those legs on back. Find your way back into downward facing dog pose. So downward facing dog pose, once again, we're going to take the right foot and step it in between the hands. Spin that left heel down. Inhale, find our way into warrior one. All right, warrior one, straighten across that right leg again. Take your hands, interlace them behind the back. Interlace the fingers once again. Pull your left hip back. Pull your right hip back. Drive your left hip forward. Interlace the fingers. Begin to hinge on forward. Keep the fingers interlaced here. Maybe a light bend in the knees as you come into Bandha Parsvottanasana. So breathe here. Keep lengthening through your chest, your heart, your sternum. And as you inhale, lift up through the chest. Bend deeply into that knee. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, glide the fingers down to the mat. Spin onto the ball of your back foot. Now you're going to lift up through that left leg and walk your fingers forward here as you lift the chest. Now press down firmly through that right foot. Glide your hands back along sides of the body and begin to breathe here. Warrior 3 variation pose. From Warrior 3, take your left foot. You can place it on the floor if you want. What we're going to do is come into tree pose. Hands come to the hips. Glide the left knee to a bend. Take the left foot. Place the left foot on the inner right thigh crease. Press your left foot into the right thigh. Press your right thigh into the left foot. Hands come to the center chest. Continue to breathe here as you press the left foot into the right thigh. As you press the right thigh into the left foot. Draw the arms up towards the ceiling, breathing here, and lengthen through those fingers. Keep drawing the right buttocks in. Keep lengthening the tailbone back towards the heels and breathing here. Good. So from here, we're going to take the hands. You're going to interlace them behind your back again. And you're going to come back into Warrior 3 pose. So I'll spin you off on the mat. You're going to take that left leg on back. Hands are interlaced behind the back. Maybe, all off balance here. Maybe pull your fingers up towards the ceiling here. Good. And then as you feel ready, come back to standing, come back to standing. We have 2 more poses on this side, all right? Lift that leg up again. You could stay here, just hovering that left leg down. You could take hold of your left knee and glide your right arm up towards the ceiling and be here. You can, if you want, grab hold of your left big toe mound of the foot and drive that left thigh forward to the front of the room as you lift your right arm up. All right, you could be here, maybe place your right hand on the hip and glide your left leg out to the side. Glide your left leg out to the side, similar to what we just did in our Vashisthasana pose, side plank. Come back to center, come back to center, come back to center. One more time, not warrior three. One more time, release the hands down to the mat for standing split. Walk the left foot back, walk the left foot back, walk the left foot back. Then take your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift the chest on up. Bend deeply into that right knee. Release the hands down to the mat and move through a vinyasa. So a lot of poses in that one sequence. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, gliding on back. So we're going to do the same on the other side. So let us begin with stepping our left foot in between the hands and spinning the right heel down. All right? As you feel ready, press down to the left ball of the foot. Press down to the right heel. Inhale, float the arms up for warrior one. From warrior one, and I'm going to actually flip sides so you guys can see me a little better. From warrior one pose, straighten across that left leg. Interlace the hands behind the back and begin to pull the fingers back and down the spine. Lift the chest up. Keep pressing through the left ball of the foot. Keep driving the left hip back. Keep pressing through the right heel. Keep driving the right hip forward. Now, begin to hinge those hips and glide the arms up and above your head. Lifting through the chest, the heart, the sternum here. So keep driving the left hip back, keep driving the right hip forward, and breathing. Okay, now as you come up again, lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the sternums. Bend deeply into that left knee. One more time, glide the arms back. Glide the arms forward, place the hands on the floor, and lift through that right leg. So as you lift through the right inner leg, take your hands, bring them behind your back, and just let the palms face one another here. So we're going to come forward with that right leg. You can let it touch the ground if you need to. And you're going to step your right foot and place it on your left inner thigh crease. As you press your left inner thigh towards the right foot, you're going to press the right foot towards the left inner thigh. Bring the hands into the center chest here. Glide the arms up towards the ceiling here and breathe. Keep wrapping your outer triceps in. Keep firming in through the belly and lifting up through the center chest. Good. Now, as you feel ready here, you're going to take your hands. Once again, interlace them behind the back the goofy way, and then glide that right leg back behind you. Lift those arms up towards the ceiling as you breathe here. So interlace fingers, warrior three. Nice. Now, come back to center, come back to center, come back to center. If you need to let that foot drop down for a moment, you can. Lift that right knee up. You could stay here and just place the right hand on the right knee and lift the left arm up and be here. You can, if you want, take your hands inside of that leg, grab hold of the big toe mound of the foot, and begin to lengthen that right leg all the way forward as you draw the right shoulder back. Good. You could stay here. You could bend that knee. You could glide that leg out to the side and lengthen the left arm out to the side here. Good. So side, this is called Supta Padangusthasana B, Uttita Padangusthasana B, and then come back to center. Take your hands back into the chest. Release your hands down to the mat. Release the right foot on down. Walk the hands back. And then take the hands to the hips. Inhale, lift the chest up. Bend deeply into that knee. Inhale, float the arms up. Vinyasa. So step your left leg back. Shift forward into plank. Lower down all the way to the mat. Good. So we lowered all the way down onto the mat. And then we're going to release our forehead down to the mat. Now interlace the fingers behind the back once again. Draw the elbows to the ceiling. See that the shoulders move down the spine. Inhale, begin to peel the chest on up. Press down to the left top of the foot. Inhale, float the right leg up. Hug the belly in as you breathe here. Keep the chin level with the ground. Keep drawing back through those shoulders. Exhale, lower the right foot down. Press to the top of the right foot. Inhale, float the left leg up. Breathe here. Exhale, lower that foot on down. Good. Release the head on down here. Be here for a moment. You'll take both knees into a bent position. You'll grab hold of both feet, both ankles rather. You'll drive the knees in. You'll lift up through those legs. You'll kick on back. And keep lifting through the chest here. Breathe as you hug those outer knees in. Lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the sternum. And as you exhale, lower on down, releasing the head over to one side. Let's do the other side. Lift those legs up, bend the knees. Grab hold of the shins. Take the calves back. Flex the feet, lift the chest. Keep lifting up through those inner thighs. Keep hugging the knees in and breathing here. Lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. And exhale, lowering on down. Turn to the other side. And then from here, you'll take your hands down to the mat. Inhale, peel up the chest and the heart. And you're gonna take your legs forward in front of you. You're gonna come onto your seat here. And come onto your seat. Good. And as you come onto your seat, take your arms forward in front of you. So now, you're gonna lift those legs up. Let's start with the thighs parallel to the mat, or your shins parallel to the mat. Extend your legs forward, lift your shoulders up, and breathe here. Keep turning your outer legs in. And then inhale, draw those knees in and lift the chest up 2 more times. So extending forward here. And inhale, lifting up. And again, extending forward here. And inhale, lifting up. 1 more time. Extending forward here. And inhale, lifting up. So cross the legs here. The legs for a moment. Inhale, lift the chest on up. Take your right hand forward, take your left arm back, and breathe. That simple twist. Keep lifting through the chest. Keep lifting through the heart. Keep lifting through the sternum. Good, you'll come back to center and take the other side. So right hand back behind you. Spin the chest. Spin the heart. Spin the sternum. All right, 1 more time. Let's come back onto our backs and let's lift those legs all the way up towards the ceiling here. Lift them up. And then from here, you're gonna lift the arms up. You're gonna lower that right leg on down, about 1 inch off the floor. Inhale, float the right leg up. You're gonna lower the left leg down to about 1 inch off the floor. Inhale, float the left leg up. Inhale, right leg. Lift the right leg up. Lower the left leg. Lift the left leg up. 5 more times. So right and left. And left. And lift. Right. Lift. Left. Lift. Right. Lift. Left. Lift. 2 more. Right. And left. Last one. And right. And left. Good. Hug those knees into the chest here. Breathe here. Take your feet down to the mat. Hold on to the outer edges of the mat. Roll the shoulders underneath you. Press down through the tops of the feet. So see that the shins move towards the calves. See that the thighs move towards the hamstrings. And roll your shoulders underneath you. And breathe. This is called bridge pose, or Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Good, you'll release on down. From bridge pose, take the hands behind to the back of the shoulders, press across the fingers, hug the outer elbows in, lift the pelvis up, lift up onto the crown of the head, and then press down and lift up through the chest. Breathe here. as you exhale, release on down. Good. We're going to do that one more time. So you could either come back into bridge, or if you'd like, spread across the fingers, hug the outer elbows in, firming in the triceps, hug the belly in, you press down through the feet, lift the pelvis up, and then as you press down through the hands, press the forearms towards the top of the forearm to the back of the forearm, and wrap the outer triceps in towards one another. So the shoulder blades draw in towards the chest. And as you exhale, lower on down, lift that head on up and breathe here. Take your right knee in, take your left leg out. Be here for Ekapada Apanasana. Draw that right knee out to the right shoulder. And then from here, just take the right knee and cross it over the left side of the body. You may cross it just slightly or all the way. So breathing here. Come back to center. Draw the left knee into the chest. Flexing across the right foot. Taking the left arm out to the side and breathing here. All right, back to center again. So hug both these knees into the chest here. Good. And then from here, you're going to take your left knee. You're going to draw it over the right, okay? Now, you're going to double cross the legs, just like we did before, and release both legs over to the right side. So this is called Garandasana, twist of the legs. Close the eyes and breathe here. And coming back to center and taking the other side of the pose. Crossing the legs, releasing the knees. All right, uncross those legs. So now take your feet and bring your knees into the chest. So just hug those knees in here and breathe into the back of the body. And then you can take hold of your big toe mounts of the feet and lift those heels all the way up towards the ceiling here. Happy baby pose. Good, and eventually release those feet on down. You'll let the palms face the ceiling here and breathe. And as you feel ready, bring the knees to a bend, roll your body over onto your side, and gently press your one up. So you're going to find your way into a cross-legged position. It's like we started with in today's practice, flexing the feet. Taking the hands to the center chest. As you exhale, releasing the chin towards the chest. Lifting the head back up, opening the eyes. Namaste, yogis. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. My name is Jason Gorenstein. This class is our Vinyasa flow all levels practice. So I hope you have a wonderful day today. Be well, be happy, my friends. Namaste. Thank you guys. And just to announce, our next class is, we have class on Friday, June the 26th at 9 a.m. So I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you, yogis.